getting
So,
there. I'm getting there.
Robyn's getting here, and it's another episode with Con and Robyn.
Hi.
And today is
June 21st, 2015.
2015. It just so happens to be Father's Day and
And
the first day of summer.
Summer solstice, yeah.
So, our topic for today is giving our art away, or even,
What happens to our art
yeah,
after we do it?
I guess it's the ones we give away, or not the ones we sell.
It could be the ones we sell,
It could be
too.
the ones we sell,
Because
too.
I had something happened with a painting I sold for a lot of money.
And so it's like sometimes they come back, or sometimes it's like we have this attachment to them that it's almost like it's part of us. So, if people lose them or ruin them,
Or destroy them, or
yeah.
just neglect them.
Yeah.
Alright, yeah, an artist's work, I guess we can't speak for every single artist, but I know a lot of artists feel this way about their work. I mean, sometimes we have to get very, very, I guess, Buddhist or something about it and be like, non-attachment, whenever it goes, we have to let go of, whatever happens to it. But, when we do our art, it means so much to us. It comes from a deep place, so that whether someone buys it or we give it to a friend as a gift or whatever, when it leaves our hands. I have a painting care sheet. I wrote up these rules, rules for taking care of oil paintings, which has been published all around the web now. And I wrote it, I guess back in my early 30s, and I wrote it for myself to give to people who buy my work so that they know how to take care of oil paintings. And it actually was very eye-opening to one of the collectors of my work, who I thought he knew this stuff, and then when I finally gave him this, when I wrote it up, he was like, oh wow, so I can't do this, I can't wrap it in bubble wrap for a year, I can't leave it in this kind of conditions,
The basement,
or the attic, or anything damp, or anything, even if you don't think it's damp, whatever.
That reminds me, may I interject?
Yes.
Here?
Yeah, we do this.
When I once had this big party at my house, and I put out all my artwork and invited my family because I wanted to. What?
You look a lot taller than
Right,
me.
up here.
Could go like this.
Oh, what?
Yeah, there you go.
Okay. So anyway,
Sorry.
had the party, invited family, put out all the art so everybody could take whatever they wanted. And what I made up with these forms, I called it an art option decree, like an adoption. So it's a play on words. I called it an art option decree, like an adoption decree. In it, I wrote that I was giving them the art, but that I never wanted them to destroy it or give it away, and that if I died, that they could, that they would be responsible for it, to pass it on to more family, whatever, and or give it back to my closest family. It was just like some kind of thread, so that it wouldn't just be destroyed. So I had people sign these things, and I had a copy, they had a copy, and it didn't actually work, because still a lot of stuff got destroyed and lost, whatever. But maybe some of them still had that. I didn't continue doing that, but that was just reminded me of what you said. Okay.
Yeah.
So, all right. So
I've had this painting care sheet, and it's all over the web. Any artist can Google, anybody can Google, painting care, how to take care of oil paintings. And people have asked me if they can publish it all over the web, so it's out there. And I guess Con and I were talking about we've talked about it many times, what happens to our work when it leaves our hands. And I know there was one time I sold a painting at an auction, and it sold for a lot of money, someone in Sands Point. And I actually got in touch with the person years later because I needed a high resolution photograph of it. And I borrowed it back and I saw that it had something stuck between the canvas and the stretcher bar in the back, and it was poking through, and there had been also some paint um, uh, scraped off. So I retouched it, and I took the thing out of the back, the dent disappeared, thankfully, because it didn't actually pierce the canvas. Lots of other things. I gave a painting to a family member who absolutely loved a painting, and my family member moved and left the moving to other people. In the meantime, the painting was in his basement, against a cardboard box, and it had a huge dent in it. And I took that back and said, I'm gonna fix it for you. I'll get it back to you when I'm done. I don't know if I ever gave it back, but lots of things happen to both of our work, and I guess our message here is, if you are, whether you're if you're an artist, you'll probably know this stuff, but if you're not an artist and you watch this video, our art means a lot to us. Don't just destroy it. Don't just give it away. You know, if you don't want it anymore, ask the artist. Give it back to the artist. If you're not going to appreciate it, it's not just an object. It's not just a decorative thing like a sofa that you can just hand off on FreeCycle. Well, you could hand it off on FreeCycle, but make sure it gets to someone who really loves it. Anyway, it's just, it hurts. I mean, we've both heard lots of stories and found out things later on about our work that, you know, people just didn't take care of it. And it's people who loved our work. They said they loved it. Oh, I love it. I'm so happy to have it. And yet,
So I've had to let go of a lot of artwork for many different reasons that stuff like this has happened, and it's done something to me as far as well, some things are positive because I mean, the letting go, the liberating of it. I didn't feel the pain anymore, but in some ways I don't value the artwork as much as I used to.
in general, you mean your art in general?
Yeah, in general, it's like, you know, give it away if you want it, yeah, take it. Not so much, you know, it's hard to store, and I think like I'm going to die, and a lot of it is just going to be given away and thrown out anyway, and so why not enjoy seeing someone have it while you're alive? So I definitely feel that way, and you know, and I had to start making new art, and you know, it's like let go of the old and make the new. Okay, that's important, and that's part of why I really got into tango also, because it's me. It's like I'm my art, and I don't know, and just every day, just how I live with people, and I don't know. So
I just feel
yeah.
like
Yeah.
like people in general, especially if they're not artists, they don't understand what we go through to create a work of art, and they don't know what it means to us, and they think of it as just a decorative object. It's not. They don't think of it as something unique and original that's never going to happen again. They, you know, yes, we can make copies of it, but the original art, our fingerprints, our personal touch, that original work is it's very special. And you know, I mean, respect art and respect artists. And I think there's such a lack of, because we're in this mass-produced society where sometimes I look at like some of the things I've made, like the masks I've made, and you can get a mask that is like even nicer than the ones I make. It looks a lot prettier for $5, made in China, right? Everything's made in China these days. So mass-produced, and it's plastic, and maybe it's got like more sparklies on it and everything, but it's a lot cheaper, so that's what people are gonna buy. Are they gonna want the $50 thing that's handmade, that's a one of a kind, or are they gonna go for the cheaper one that's maybe a little more sparkly? It's like we live in this mass-produced society where it's disposable society, and people also don't value things that are unique and original. Why? Why don't they? I mean, I wish people would. I wish people would value our art. I wish people could tell the difference between the mass-produced crap that's sold, in stores that sell furniture, and an original work of art. There's a big difference, and people don't get that. And it's if you own a piece of original art and you don't want it
Also,
anymore.
it's the idea of like when someone returns something that you've given to them, there's a certain feeling of disappointment in that.
Although I'd rather have that than have them throw it away or stick it in the
Right,
basement
definitely.
or, I've had,
Definitely.
I-
But,
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
It's like, okay, it's good, at least they gave it the thought and you got it back.
I'm very thankful I have,
So I guess the more
Yeah.
the more art you make, the more you're gonna get some returned.
there was someone who bought a painting from me a while ago, and she absolutely loved it. And about 10 years later, she got in touch with me and she said, you know what? And she was totally honest with me, which I was like, thank you for being honest with me. Because she said, you know what? I still love the painting, but it doesn't fit with my life anymore. So can I give it back to you? And I actually gave her another one, like a newer one that she loved, that had different colors in it, and that she felt really like fit with her life at this point. So that was amazing, because she's an artist, so maybe that's why she understood the importance of handing the work back if she didn't want it. But it's not just a thing to us. It's not just this mass-produced thing. It's not just an object. It's a means of expression. I don't know if I'm speaking for every artist, and I'm probably not. So don't,
Well, yeah, some artists really, they have no, what's the personal attachment, it's
Yeah.
like they really don't feel that. And, what that personal attachment is, maybe it has something to do with how and why we became artists in the first place. There was something in our life that maybe we needed that kind of attachment, and, maybe there were things. So, it's like, because it's like therapy in a way, it's personal, it's a diary, your artwork. So, how much of your soul and spirit and feelings, positive and negative, goes into it and out of it.
Yeah, I'm actually very torn between the two, because part of me says I want to be a little, more lighthearted about it, and a little more like, oh, I can let it go. But no, it's like I think about the hours and the time and the care I put into each painting, and it's totally unique. And for someone to destroy it, or for someone to just neglect it, it's like, at least give it back to the artist. Or if it gets damaged, give it back to the artist. This is something I have in my painting care sheet. And, just respect to respect what we do, and to respect the art. I know a lot of artists who are like, I'm not giving my work away. That's it,
Yeah.
And I've had
And a
people
lot
get
of
mad
peop-
at me
yeah.
for giving my work away,
That's
especially
right.
gallery owners who are like,
Yes.
how am I supposed to respect
Yeah.
you and want to show your work and sell
Right.
your work when you're just giving it away?
Right.
So they know that there's a value to it. They know there's a value. There are a lot of people who know there's a value to what we
But
do.
storing it and everything is always an issue too, and it's like I think about, so you die, and then where is it all gonna be stored? I know, I've heard so many different stories of children, of artistic parents, and it's like, what to do with all that art? What do they do with it? They can't even like donate it to a museum, they won't even take it, so maybe they wanna try and have a retrospect, or they have to like store it, or they have to give it away, and it's like, that's how it is, and it's not very encouraging then to
Yeah.
keep creating
Right.
artwork. So,
Right, because
yeah, think about that.
What's
you
gonna
know,
happen to it? Yeah.
we're encouraging our youth and all to create, be creative, and then what do you do with it?
Yeah, that's a big concern too. That actually sometimes has kept me from painting,
Yeah,
because
I
I'm
mean,
like, what am I gonna
it's
do
a
with
big
it?
thing where like they try to really destroy history that way, because it is periodical what we do and what goes on. Look what they did in different parts of the world where they would just go in and destroy art and books and, you know, just mass quantities to try to eliminate the truth.
But why are there art museums? There are art museums because, yeah, I know we're gonna wrap it up. Art museums because people value art. I mean, how many people go to the Louvre to see the Mona Lisa every day, or every day that the museum's open? It's like, or different works of art around the world. You know, does the public only appreciate it if it's in a museum, and not if it's made by somebody they know?
Yeah,
You
they
know?
think that that's what like makes art, you know, it's like that's what it's all about, but you know, your children go to school and they bring home their creative stuff and some of it you save.
Yeah, so, is there anything else we wanna?
I think that we can wrap it up, I think
Okay.
that's pretty much it, and yeah, thank you.
I'll close this.
Till next time.
Till next time.